welcome to my show this morning. My name is Lisa Dublin. I'm so happy to be here. It's a bright Monday morning. It's raining by me, but that's okay. We can still start talking and start chatting. So that's what we want to do. I started a series on resilience, and I want to continue today with something that is going to serve you well all week long. We are going to be talking about determination as one of those factors that really helps in resilience. And just to remind you of what resilience is, let me just share my slides with you. How are my ladies in the Two Other Girls Success Club doing? I run a Facebook club, and especially on a Saturday morning, we really go in and have this really intimate time talking about God. Very, very important. So, you can come and share if you want to. So, let's just recap what resilience is. And you're going to need resilience in life. That's one of the reasons we want to focus upon it. So please tell me if you can hear me. Let me make sure that I can hear myself. I guess I can hear myself. So that's good. Okay. So if you can hear me, please let me know. Or if there are any problems, let me know in the chat and we can go. Oh, hi, Uncle. How are you doing? So, resilience is the ability to adjust or recover readily from illness, adversity, major life changes, challenges, etc. And we over the last week, I had presented, I have this whole pie chart thing. Let's go into it. And there we go. Okay. So we spoke about grit already. And that led to a spirited discussion last week talking about thanks, uncle. Y'all, I have the best uncles. Okay. I have uncles. I have really great uncles. Does anybody have great uncles? I do. Thanks, uncle. Thanks very much. So and he's also my coach, right? So he's like the first coach in the family. So hey Pearl, how you doing? Good morning. So we spoke about grit last week and about the fact that especially for women, the concept of being a pit bull in heels, like doing it your way, be having tenacity, not giving up, finding a way. And I want to go further talking about determination today as one of those like just a sub, it's right here in the chart, and it's just one of those subcategories within resilience that I think we need to take a deeper look at. So bear with me. Let me just get to the part on we looked at a can-do attitude. I'm just going very quickly. Not much time this morning. Okay, so this was what we spoke about grit, and let's come to determination. What is determination? Do you have enough? How do you develop even more of it? Yes, Paul, nice to see you as well. Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I think I'm back. Determination is the steadfast fortitude we draw on to endure, to cope with, and to survive challenges. So it's that dogged sense of, I'm going to do it, I will survive. And I take a lot of, I've been reading this book on resilience. There are two that are very closely related. The book by Dr. Hanson, it's literally called Resilient, and Grit by Angela Duckworth. And these books really go hand in hand. In fact, in the book, in Resilient, that book, he speaks about and he quotes a lot of Angela Duckworth's work. So that's very good. Like if you get a chance, if even to just read the highlights or get the audible version of the book. So while you are traveling, driving, I like to always talk about doing the domestic things, doing the dishes, whatever. You can be listening to an audiobook and increasing your knowledge and your personal development. Okay, so here are a couple things. And I want to give you, I want to have a little fun here as well on the little broadcast, right? Or streaming. It's not a broadcast. I used to be in broadcast media, so excuse me. So, determination does not always have to be grim, but it has to be focused and it can be playful and fun. So, I want to give you just a bit of a lighthearted moment. So I'll never forget a friend telling me the story of this woman who was really going through a lot of trouble, with her spouse. They were about to get a divorce. Hey Ramona, how are you doing? Good morning, Diamonds. Thank you for showing up. And but she was always well made up, dressed to the hilt, and it was not a way of escaping what she was going through at home, but she was a good friend with my friend. And she said to my friend, you see these 10 fingers? I don't care what's going on. They're always going to be well done. I don't care what's going on. I'm determined this is going to be my standard. I mean, that is part of the resilience. It's kind of funny that you would turn to that when something so serious is going on in your life. But there are other ways that you can see determination coming out. So for me, I love to say, especially in the group, you know what? Fling your shoulders back, face the world, tie waist, let's go. Just, a fine, it doesn't have to be grim. How do you face the challenges of life? It doesn't have to be like, no, I have to get this done. You clench your fist and you grind your teeth. No, can make the thing fun. Some people crack their neck. Some people throw their shoulders back as a way of just facing the world. Okay. So just a couple things. No matter what is going on, you're determined to stay as fit as you age. Exactly, Pearl. So you see where you dig deep and you find something that you can hold on to keep you going and to keep you focused. Let's move on. I love, love this part of it. That the writer, this is Hansen in the book Resilient, he broke determination down into four parts: resolve, patience, persistence, and fierceness. You guys know which one I love the best, right? Which one do you think I love the best? Let me see how much my audience knows me. Which part of determination do you think appeals to me the most? Anybody? Tell me. I'll tell you when I get there, okay? So here's resolve. Resolve basically, exactly, Ramona, irrespective of what's going on, you're going to look after yourself. So the first one is persistence. And that is, sorry, no, the first one is, yeah, let's go. No, that should actually be resolve. Okay. Sorry, something happened there. Excuse me. That one is resolve. So resolve is aimed towards a goal. Otherwise, if you don't have resolve, let me stop sharing there. I hate to give wrong information. Otherwise, if you don't have resolve, basically, it really is as if you have a car with a big engine and nowhere to go. Like you need somewhere to go. So that is what resolve is about. Resolve aims you towards a certain goal because, hey, Elizabeth, good morning. So it's almost like, yes, some people say that they work hard, but what are you working hard towards? And are you working smart? It's the same thing with resolve. So it's not just a matter of I'm not going to give up. Yeah, that's okay. But what about I'm not going to give up and you point that resolve towards something specific. It has an aim, it has an end in mind. That is what the writer is talking about. And that is so true. It's not a matter of, oh, yeah, I don't give up, I don't give up. You could be a fool not giving up when you should have given up in some instances, right? But when it's aimed towards a goal in particular, that is when I resolve that this is what's going to happen and nothing else. Okay. So that is resolved. And here's something that I found so interesting. That Dr. Hansen in the book Resilient, he was saying a very like just small way to develop resilience is think of the last thing you were resolved about. Okay? We all have these pockets of things that you resolve perhaps today that you're going to get through the day. I'm resolved today, like I want to run 3 miles today. Okay, because it didn't happen yesterday, and I have to write about that. How we get so busy and we forget the non-negotiables. That's exactly what happened to me yesterday. I wanted to do my long, slow run, but then I got into cooking, I got into all sorts of things, and by the time I checked myself, time was gone, and like there was just no time. I'm sure everybody here knows what I'm talking about, right? But when you find yourself resolved about something, notice it. And the writer is saying one way to develop resolve in other areas is to just sit in that feeling. And I realize that I do that a lot, I think, on the treadmill, just thinking of what I have to do. And because I'm on the treadmill anyway, I can't go anywhere. I'm literally just staying in that mode of thinking about it, staying in the feeling of resolving to do it and sitting there for a while. That is how you grow an attitude and you make it become something that you do mostly all the time. So that resolve, you can now apply it to other areas because you already have the attitude of how it looks. So you now focus that resolve onto something else. That is what the writer is talking about. So that is it for resolve and the way that you develop resolve in your life. Let's go back to the slides. Okay. All right. The next one is patience. I had this friend. Tell me if you agree, you guys. I had this friend who used to say, patience is the attitude of a fool who didn't have the gumption to say that he had enough. Patience is the attitude of a fool who didn't have the guts to say he had enough. Oh my gosh. Of course, I just said that because I don't believe it. Yeah, in some instances, maybe it's true, but it was just a little aside. We're talking about that ability to wait things out. As I've gotten older, one of my like mind, I don't even know how to say it, but I like to say, Lisa, play the long game. Play the long game in relationships and parenting, at work, in your career. Play the long game, as in, don't do now for now. Think long term. And if I want this in my life for a long time, what do I need to do? And how do I need to act and show up to kind of increase the chances that 10 years from now, I'm still doing this, I'm still being this, I still have those people in my life, all of those good things. What about you? The writer here speaks about patience in two instances: delayed gratification, which is something I'm just talking about now, in terms of, think long term. Don't take the reward now. Delay it until such a time as it would have matured and given you the best benefit. Now, here's the next one, which is very interesting. Distress tolerance is that ability to sit into the discomfort without making it worse, without turning to forms of abuse of, maybe alcohol, or drowning yourself in anything that is abusive, anything that takes away from what you should be experiencing and just letting yourself go through. So the writer is saying that basically, in terms of resilience, you need patience for determination. And two factors of patience would be delayed gratification and this distress tolerance, that ability to sit in the discomfort without any further loss to yourself, without any recourse or resorting to abusive methods of trying to allay the distress and the discomfort that you are feeling in the moment. Sit into it. I wrote an article, you can go check it out on my Facebook page and so on, a couple weeks ago, about just sitting into it, sitting into the things that are difficult. And every single time you increase your endurance by perhaps a minute, 10 minutes, okay, however long, you just increase that endurance, even as you do it with weightlifting and that kind of thing. Hi, my IG friends, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Let's move on, you guys. So we have resolve, we have patience. Now let's look at the next one, which is perseverance. Okay, let's go to this one right here: perseverance, persistence. So it's not just that you don't give up, but it's how. So here's a story. Let me just come out from the share a little bit so I can be here with my IG friends. Okay. There's this really lovely story in the book about a couple of frogs that were, like dropped into a bucket of cream. And so the sides of the bucket were steep, and so they couldn't get out. It's cream. It's cream. And so a lot of them just gave up. They tried to get out, they couldn't. A lot of them gave up and they just couldn't. So they drowned. But this one little frog, he kept on. I don't know why I'd say why could anyway, this one little frog just kept on moving his little legs over and over again, just little movements in the bucket of cream. And before you know it, just those little movements He was able to churn the cream into butter, and because butter is solid, then that frog just hopped on the butter and he got out of the bucket. And the lesson there is persist. It's the small, undramatic movements that usually move the needle. And when I was thinking about it, it occurred to me that sometimes you have to keep on going even after you've given up, if that makes any sense. Like, sometimes perhaps you're trying to get something, and I've experienced that recently, just going after business and so on. When you might think that it's all done, do all you can in your power. Keep on turning every stone. Keep on knocking on every door that you can. And somehow, some which what way, one of these doors that you knock on, one of these avenues that you have sought, is going to kind of give you a reward. But you just don't give up. You just, every day, if I'm looking for a job, I just look for one or two. Every day, if I'm trying to find a way maybe to parent better, I will think of, okay, what could I be doing today? But it's those little movements that actually make for change and, make you able to accomplish something. So we have, what do we have? Resolve, we have patience, and now we have persistence. The last one? Oh my goodness, you guys. I love, love, love this one. Let's go back to the slide presentation and then we're going to end today. Okay, this last one of those components of determination, according to this writer, is fierceness. And he's saying that, how we're taught, okay, you need to temper things, you need to be civil and polite. And what else? What other nice little words do we use all the time? Um, just the opposite of fierce. And it goes back, I think, to that sense of tenacity when I talk about the pit bull in heels and women who go after things, hold on to it, and but do it in their own way, in such a way that it is, it's their way of doing it. Okay. Fierceness draws on that wild, imaginative, fierce part of you that roars on the inside. You all know that's my own definition. It really is. I was like, what? I know how to define this. I took some of his words. I was like, I need to put in the part about that feral kind of inside your head, that you need to be fierce for you to be determined. It's that sense of, I don't really care, I'll get it done. And inside, like, I guess a lot of my analogies, excuse me, have to do with, I guess, like running, because it means so much to me. It's lonely, it's alone work, it's mental work, it's where a lot of how I show up happens, I've discovered. So it's like you're roaring in your head, as in, I'm gonna get this done. You don't have to go out and be telling people and, making yourself look all crazy. But in your head, there's a fierceness that comes with determination that I'm gonna get it done. No, I know. But anybody knows what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. I'm sure there are these moments where you're big in your head, big in terms of, I'm going to get it done, big in terms of, this is just a facade. Inside, you're a beast in terms of the focus of your energy, the focus of your determination, which is what we're talking about today. So be those things. Have resolve. We're talking about determination today as one of those factors of resilience. Have resolve, have patience, have persistence, and finally, find the fierce in you. Like, okay, so I'm from St. Lucia. I'm from St. Lucia, and we have some wild beaches in St. Lucia. Okay, some deserted places, some where the waves are crashing, and I swear sometimes there's like in my head, that's where I am a lot of the time, on one of those beaches, waves crashing, because you need to be at that level to accomplish what you want to. Okay, Yeah, that's what I thought I'd say this morning. So Liz says, persistence, my favorite too. Keep pursuing your goal with all your might. That's where I am right now. I'm dreaming, eating the physical setup of my store. Oh my gosh, it's big in my head right now. I'm going to get it done. Yes, that's it. I dare say that is fierceness as well. That's my favorite one. My favorite one is fierceness, right? And it's very internal. It's not something I turn on against people. It's something that I turn on within me to be able to then go out and do big things. That's just it for me. I'm not sure how. Hey Willow, how are you doing? Hey Francisca. Hi, my IG friends. Thank you for joining me this morning. Yeah. What is it? Yes. Yes, Ramona. That's my favorite one. No, but at some point you have to decide what you're going to do and what you're not, and just like tie a waist, fling your shoulders back, and just get it done and live where you have to in your head to get it done. Now I no longer question people when I see them showing up a certain way, because I understand the impulse is coming from a fierce place sometimes, and it just perhaps shows up in a different way. Like, we never know what people's motivations might be. Anyway, folks, do you guys see my chocolate mic, by the way? So I had this mic, right? I just had to say this because I want us to go out and ask for what we want the way that we want it, and demand of life the best that we can. So I had this mic, and I said that in my group last night. I gave them the preview. I had this mic, right? Um, Other one was this tan color. But this hair girl is chocolate, and chocolate's good. And I deserve a chocolate mic. And so I went out and I found one that is more me, because that's what life is about, personalizing it and customizing it, right? And not just simply accepting that the norm is not me. The norm has to be you, whoever you are. It has to be you. If you start from there, you make things happen a different way. That's what it's about. Anyway, folks, my time is up. I shall get out of here with my chocolate mic. I think my computer too is about to die. So thank you so much for joining me. We continue the conversation tomorrow. I've been working on a couple of videos since, I think, January or February. So they're finally ready. We're just now chopping up, putting captions on, and so on. And they really have to do with resilience. I go a bit deeper than I ever have into my own story of resilience. So kind of look out for that. We'll be continuing the conversation tomorrow. So go out today and ask for what you want the way that you want it, because you deserve it. Bye, everybody. See ya.